on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:37. It's O'Connor and Company on this Valentine's Day, and in 30 minutes we're going to hand it off to Chris Plant. It's Larry O'Connor with Patrice Onwuka. Good morning, Patrice.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day and happy Friday.
Yes, and we want to extend those wishes to everyone listening, and certainly our next guest, who, if I may, is a real sweetheart. And as a father of two daughters about Chloe Cole's age, she would make me so proud if I were her dad, and I hope she's having a good Valentine's Day, although while Chloe Cole, the fight continues, does it not? Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It absolutely does.
Yeah, you were in Washington celebrating President Trump and his executive orders to try to protect children from what they Orwellian refer to as gender-affirming care, but it's, of course, absolutely the opposite of that. It is mutilation of children, and now we've got a judge jumping in to try to block this order. Tell us your impression of what happened here with this judge and how it's dangerous for young children.
So the executive order was to target these publicly funded institutions primarily through restricting their funding and rescinding the grants that the federal government has been doing for the last decade.
Yeah.
And it was really quite monumental, actually, because it's essentially the first federal decision to combat this ideology that has been destroying our youth and children like me. But that's why this judge's order to deposits is so incredibly disappointing and destruction.
Yeah.
And these judges have gotten in the way of the federal government attempting to protect our children. And I'm hoping that Congress will respond to this very quickly.
It certainly seemed completely within the confines of the president's authority as a member of the executive. And I certainly, Chloe, don't want you to have to be in a position of making some sort of constitutional judgment here on this, other than, how disappointing this is and how this is going to affect children. Because, you've spoken before, Chloe Cole, about sort of the finances, the big business behind all of this, and the fact that people are getting rich on convincing parents, like your parents were, that they need to do these barbaric procedures on children to, save their lives or to help, reaffirm what they're really supposed to be because they were born in the wrong body. There's a big money behind all of this, as you've discovered.
Absolutely. And what a concept that we're telling to our children, that they're so wrong, that they're born so wrong that they have to be fixed. Their healthy bodies have to be fixed through medicine that is going to offset the course of not only their childhood, but also their development into adulthood. And that's for life. We're restricting children, or stopping them from going through puberty before they even become adults. And while on one hand, these procedures and this becoming so widespread is ideological in nature, but a lot of interest groups and hospitals and even the pharmaceutical companies have made this so that it's an incredibly profitable, I think at this point, a multi-billion-dollar industry. So it's no wonder that they want to suck our children into this, the younger that they get, because that'll trap them into being patients for life.
Yeah.
We cannot allow this to continue happening in our country.
Chloe, it seems like part of the prevent it from continuing to happen is the cultural change. And you tell your story far and wide, which is a big piece of it, the storytelling. But it's also, I think, getting parents to understand that they're not bad parents if they if their child comes to them and says, I think I was born in the wrong body. Maybe there are things that the parents can do to help that child to figure out what's going on with their child, rather than to just jump on board with what the child is saying, or God forbid, the school counselors that are trying to change a child, and then the medical professionals. What is your message to the parents and frankly to the pediatricians and the medical professionals that should be giving good advice to parents when their child is going through situations like this?
Right. I mean, in order to truly make change, we have to change the culture around this as well. And I've been speaking on this issue since I was 17, so for about three or more years now. And I've seen that there's been a lot of cultural change since people like me have come out of the water and talked about what is actually going on in regards to this. And as parents, you have to be able to exercise your authority over your children and your understanding of them, because nobody other than you understands them truly.
That's right. Yep.
Only a parent truly knows their child best. And it's not up to a counselor. It's not always even up to doctors and pediatricians as to what is best for the child. I mean, you don't need a degree to understand that to maim, to mutilate, to chemically castrate a child or surgically castrate a child is incredibly wrong.
Yes.
It is not up to doctors to get between a parent and their child.
Well,
or
and you have
any
to have the
other
courage
adult for that matter.
You got to have the courage to stand up to them, and regardless of whether this executive order gets, I think it will get reaffirmed at the higher court. But parents do need to take control of their children's lives here and be parents and do it. It's hard, and it's hard to stand up for your kids, but that's what parents are supposed to do. Chloe Cole, we got to leave it there. But go ahead, finish it up.
I mean, in some cases, it's not even possible, because in certain states like mine, if you don't affirm your children, you literally could get them taken away by your state government, by Child Protective Services, which is exactly why we need more than an executive order, because as we've seen, it can be struck down. It was an amazing first step, but this does not end until we have federal restrictions and laws in place that cannot easily be rescinded.
Yes.
Amen. Well said. And your bravery on this issue is unmatched, and we always love hearing from you. Please, we're going to continue the fight for you, and we're here for you when you want to fight that fight here in Washington, D.C. specifically. Thank you, Chloe Cole.
Thanks, Chloe.
Thank you so much.